Blue Devils. Game number 3 in our regional finals. Mike, you're going to start. Then Jeff, then Rob. Mike, here we go. Tennessee, Houston.
I'm going with Tennessee in this game, but I will say I don't think we talked enough about Houston today because there's something to be said. I think sometimes we look at results and we see 62-60 or we see a close game and we think, it's not exactly what we want it to be. We want these 1 seeds running teams off the floor. Houston wins close games. You want to know why they win close games? Because when it comes down to getting a stop, there's no better team in the country to do it. When it comes down to drawing something up at the end of the game like we saw tonight, Kelvin Sampson is one of the best coaches in the country doing it. That's why they win close games, and they got tough shot makers. So I just wanted to mention that with Houston. I feel like we haven't talked about them enough tonight. So I think this could be a close game, but I think Tennessee, like we alluded to earlier in the show, there's just so many weapons, and if you're going to put 2 on the ball, how do they shoot from the outside? How do they fare on the glass when Houston's in rotation? I had Tennessee in my bracket moving to the Final Four, and I'm going to keep it that way. So I'm going Tennessee.
I had Houston going to the Final Four in my bracket, and Jeff, I'm changing my pick.
No.
Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to get this done.
Don't ever sing that again either.
Don't
change your pick. Don't sing.
No, I just did. I think that we saw the blueprint for how to be able to attack Houston's the way that they defend ball screens, and I think that Zakai Ziegler is capable of stringing it out the way that Braden Smith did. The thing that I loved, like this, just a tangent, but the thing that I loved that Braden Smith did was he would string out the ball screen and then we'd reset it the other way. So then all of a sudden the big guy is kind of stuck in no man's land and Braden Smith is coming the other way off of a ball screen. So all of a sudden you're kind of playing 5-on-4. I love that little tweak that Matt Painter threw in there. But yeah, I think Tennessee gets this one.
Can you stay on point, please? We're trying to do previews.
I can't. Zakai Ziegler, Tennessee, they get this done. Rick Barnes is back in the Final Four on, what would that be? Sunday evening.
Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this is a Tennessee team that since February they've beaten Florida, they've beaten Alabama, they've beaten Auburn. They've proven they can beat absolutely anybody. And frankly, Houston in the Big 12, I know they tore the Big 12 up, but the Big 12 just wasn't that good looking back at it this year. So I think Tennessee wins this game. I just think they've got too many weapons. I think they fit together. They just have to match Houston's toughness, which is easier said than done.
Well, Houston's got to match their toughness too, and that's the kind of game this is going to be. Now, in my original bracket,
do it, Fanta.
I don't know where the thing went. I picked Houston to come out of this region, and I am not backing down tonight. So I am taking the Cougars. I'm going to be a man of my word.
Yes.
I think
we need some.
You're a man. You're a man. Yes. Unlike Dawson.
LJ Cryer will be crying tears of joy because he's going to respond from an embarrassing performance tonight. He was flat out bad tonight. Think about this. Like, that guy tonight goes 2 for 13. But, Mike, you saw it. He hit one of the biggest shots of the game to put him up 5 and put him in position to win the game. You don't think he's going to bed tonight pissed off at himself and his life and everything, thinking, I almost just cost my team this season?
His life?
Oh, yeah.
Life
he's
or
not
wife?
Pissed off in his life. Come on, man. He's got a great life.
No. Those Houston kids take it personally. They do. It's a different. These two teams, whoever loses this game because of how hard they play, they're not going to be consolable after the game because that's the type of basketball these two teams play. This is going to you
better have football pads on.
Yeah, no, I mean this is not. If you come into this soft, you're not allowed at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Hey, here's my bold take for this game.
Houston finds a way to win this game.
Here's my bold take for this game is that after watching this game, we are going to have freedom of movement rules put into college basketball in the 25-26 season. That's my bold take.
Hard game to
stay on point.
Almost impossible game to officiate. I just think, what did Kelvin bring in? He brought in Milo Shoes on for this moment. He's got Cryer. He's got Sharp. Look, I wouldn't want to get in Ziegler's or Lanier's way. Conventional wisdom says Tennessee, we're going to get a burst of madness from somebody, and I'll take my chances with Houston, who I know could be in a one-possession game in the final minute, and if they run a baseline out of bounds like they did tonight, who knows what could happen. Jeff, Mike, Rob, in that order. Does Izzo have one more magical day?
No. They just don't have enough. Jace Richardson would have to go for 30, I think, for Michigan State to beat Auburn. I really believe that. Now, again, as Mike said earlier, they might be able to frustrate him a little bit, hold them down for a half, but ultimately they're going to go on their run. They have too much. I think Janai could foul out all three of Michigan State's bigs, number one. And again, to me, I don't see Baker Mazzara having another game like he did tonight. These guys just kind of can flip it. They have fun. They've just – Denver Jones tonight. Like, they just got dudes. They got guys that step up, that are fearless, that feel like, you know what, at any point they could take over the game, and that's what happened tonight with Denver Jones, Pettiford. It was Janai early. He was playing volleyball out there and just against 2 7-footers. He was playing volleyball, just throwing the ball off the glass and getting it back. So I'm taking Auburn here. Easy.
Michael.
Rob, you said that the freedom of movement rules may be changed after the Tennessee-Houston game. The shit-talking rules might be changed after this Michigan State-Auburn game. I think we're going to have such a high-level amount of shit-talking in this game that I'm so excited for. I was hoping that this matchup happened for that very reason. When you think about the guys in that backcourt, just think about Auburn in general. Like the swag that they play with, they talk, they like talking, they like barking, and so does this Michigan State team.
You can't talk to Trey Holloman. You can't talk
Trey
to Trey
Holloman, Jeremy Fears.
I can't wait for Trey Holloman and Chad Baker Mazzara. I was going to say that same thing. It is going to be awesome.
I will set my clock to 2 minutes into the game before Trey Holloman and Chad Baker Mazzara are getting into it. So, look, my gut tells me that Auburn wins this game. My bracket says it's Michigan State. So I'm at a crossroads here. The one thing I will say is if Auburn turns the ball over 15 times like they did tonight against Michigan, that is music to Michigan State's ears getting out in transition. You are going to you need to get shots on rim. And Michigan State's a really, really good rebounding team, one of the best rebounding teams in the country, but so is Auburn. We saw it tonight with Janai and the rest of those guys. So you need to get shots on rim if you're Auburn. You cannot give runouts to this Michigan State team, or else those guys get going. And I talked about those runs in Duke, Alabama. It's the same thing here. Michigan State can go on runs now. So I don't know. I almost want Rob. I almost want you and Fanta to pick, and then I can make my pick at the end of it.
You got to make your pick. Make your pick already. Let's go. Come on.
All right. I'll for parity's sake, I'll go Michigan State.
I think it's going to be Auburn for a lot of the reasons that that Goodman said, but I think the biggest one is just Michigan State is about rebounding and getting out in transition, right? And I don't think you want to play a transition game against Auburn, and I just don't know if this Michigan State team has the size to be able to rebound the way they need to be able to rebound against Auburn when we just saw them kind of struggle to play their game against Ole Miss. So I think Auburn wins this game.
You guys are overthinking this. Fana, I have one word. Talent. That's why Auburn wins this.
Yeah. Everything about this says Auburn wins the game, which is why I'll even the score and I'll take Michigan State too. I think that this Spartans team, I liken it to 2019 down in Washington, D.C., and everybody in the media and nobody was talking to Michigan State the day before the game. Everybody was talking to Zion Williamson. And then Michigan State came out and grinded them down defensively and hung around in the game by just getting stops, Mike, and getting stops.
Kenny Goins, baby. Kenny Goins game winners. You got to love Kenny Goins game winners.
And, Jeff's like, well, it would take Jace Richardson scoring 30. So why the hell not? Jace Richardson scores 28 points. Jaden Akins has the game of his life. Here's the deal. If we all come out here and pick